Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Here's the headline: VA Disability Questionnaire. What is it and how do you have to fill it out? Now, this is a great headline. I found it online and there's a little article behind it. I want to go through it, see if we could pick anything up, nuggets, or pieces that they miss. Here's my take on disability questionnaires. They can be absolutely essential and fantastic and great and take you to exactly where you want to be with regard to your VA rating. However, they can also really negatively impact you if not done correctly. So it's the whole adage of garbage in, garbage out. So just because you have the right form doesn't necessarily mean you have the right information to put in it. So that's what I'm going to incorporate into this article here if they don't cover it. So I want to make sure that you understand how to utilize the DBQ or disability questionnaire. So let's jump into it here. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every one of you that does that helps out a lot. The two asks that I really have is, look, hit that thumbs up. That's free, doesn't cost you a nickel. The longer you let the video run, the more people see this video. And that's just a YouTube thing. Now, in addition, I started another channel with Clay from the CivDiv. It's a joint channel where we put up one video that's a long form and then snippets after that for the week. So it's every day at 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern time. A video goes up there. That's called Veterans Daily, and I'll drop that in the comments or somewhere so you can check that out. Thank you so much. All right, let's jump into it. VA Disability Benefits Questionnaire. What is it and how do you have to fill it out? A disability benefits questionnaire helps the VA to assign disability benefits for veterans. True. All right, moving on. I want to see kind of what they say, and I'll give you kind of my 2 cents along the way. So when it comes to securing VA disability benefits, one indispensable element often stands between the applicants and successful claims, the disability benefits questionnaire, the DBQ. So they're basically saying that the DBQ could be the differentiator for you with regard to getting a successful claim. This form serves as a conduit for collecting crucial medical information, allowing individuals to substantiate their disability claim with evidence from their health providers. Let's see here. Who fills out the... Okay, so before we get into that, based on that last little piece, the crucial medical information, right? So what it's really doing is it's helping the VA to understand exactly what's going on with you with regard to that specific condition, so that way they can then in turn assign the appropriate rating. So that's kind of what they're doing with these DBQs. Are they required? Yes, they are kind of. Yes, they kind of are required, but not by you. When you go to your C&P exam, they're also completing a DBQ for the VA. Okay, so pretty much every claim will have some sort of a DBQ that is submitted. Most of the time, it's just the one from your C&P exam. However, you do have the right, and there's a whole website that has all of the DBQs on it, on the VA's website, a web page there with the DBQs, and you can take that and take it to your medical provider and have them complete it. All right, so let's jump in back to this. Who fills out the disability questionnaire? A disability benefits questionnaire is a specialized form that a medical professional, typically your doctor, completes. Its primary function is to articulate a diagnosis to the VA and explain how it qualifies for disability compensation. Since VA disability applicants must align with the VA's definition of disability, the DBQ becomes an instrumental tool in this validation process. Currently, there exist 69 distinct DBQs, each tailored to address a specific type of disability. The rule of thumb is simple: one DBQ submission per disability claimed. So, if you have migraines, there's a DBQ for that. If you have GERD, there's a DBQ for that. This tailored approach ensures a precise evaluation for each unique condition. which I agree is very important. Your doctor takes the reins in completing the DBQ and submitting it to the VA on your behalf. Understanding the contents of the form and your doctor's response is crucial. That little piece right there is huge. Understanding the contents of the form and your doctor's responses is crucial. And I'll give you stick with me because I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this to make sure that you get this right. The initial page establishes the requester of the form, details the doctor's relationship to you, and outlines the examination process that determined your disability. Additionally, it addresses whether your medical records were reviewed, specifying the type and dates of those records. Most DBQs consist of 6 or 7 sections, each capturing distinct information about your disability. These sections contribute to creating a comprehensive overview of your physical abilities and how your condition impacts your daily life. This information aids the VA in evaluating your eligibility for disability compensation. Super important. Again, I am going to give you the absolute necessary information when it comes to completing this information. Because again, garbage in, garbage out. And if you're using a civilian doctor, if you're using any doctor, they typically do not, unless it's a paid for service doctor that is actually filling out a DBQ for you for that specific condition. If it's one of those paid for things, then they get it because they're doing 1,000 of these. But if it's just your primary care doctor, believe me, they don't know what the VA is looking for specifically regarding your condition. So it's really important that you get that information correct. And I'm going to give you that here in a second. I'm almost done with this. DBQ submissions does not. DBQ submission doesn't guarantee approval. It's crucial to note that submitting a DBQ doesn't guarantee approval for VA disability compensation. The final decision depends on various factors, with the DBQ serving as one of many types of records considered in the evaluation process. And I'm going to stop there for a second. Remember, it's 3 things you need for a successful claim, right? Number 1 is you must have time in service. That gives you the window of opportunity. 2 is you have to have a diagnosed condition. That diagnosed condition should be chronic in nature or have some sort of residual effects. Number 3 is the nexus. You have to have a link between your condition and your time in service. Now, that can be as simple as it manifested during my time in service, or it's a result of my time in service, or the service caused this, right? So it's very broad. As long as you could tie it back to it's because of my time in service or it showed up during my time in service. That's kind of what you're looking for with the nexus. So moving on, if you're applying for disability compensation with the VA, your doctor may submit a DBQ to support your application. However, only medical professionals should complete a DBQ. While the form might strengthen your benefits request, it's not a guaranteed approval, and caution is advised when dealing with services promising specific disability ratings. Notably, you might incur costs if your doctor charges a filling out the DBQ fee, as the VA does not compensate doctors for this service. Additionally, it's important to be aware that not every medical condition has a corresponding DBQ. While this limitation exists, it doesn't diminish your chances of approval without a DBQ. Agreed, and I'll kind of touch on that here in a second as well. The DBQ serves as a tool, a piece in a larger puzzle that contributes to the comprehensive evaluation of your eligibility for the support you seek. That concludes the article. Now I'm going to jump into a couple important pieces here. So back to the garbage in, garbage out piece. You must absolutely read the VA's rating schedule or schedule of ratings for your specific condition, because the information that they pull from the DBQ is what they are going to cross-reference with the schedule of ratings. So they're going to look at the information in the DBQ, then they're going to look at the schedule of ratings to determine what your rating should be. So you should then read the schedule of ratings for your specific condition. Then see what criteria you meet and what that warrants as far as a rating is concerned. My rooster's on one. So if you have a 30% rating criteria all met, but you don't meet it for 50, then you know you should be 30. Now you know the exact words that the VA is looking for to assign you that 30% rating. You need to ensure that your doctor incorporates that into the DBQ. It's very important that they incorporate that. Also, when the opportunity arises, you want to make sure that you reference dates to establish the nexus, right? If you miss the date or the doctor puts in a wrong year or something like that, that could potentially make you not qualify for service connection because you might have put a year that was a year ahead of you joining the military. So then all of a sudden, that's not a service connected condition. So you want to make sure that your nexus timeframes are correct and the criteria for the specific rating is correct in the DBQ. Now, here's my take on it. Yes, a medical practitioner should fill out the DBQ. However, you are the patient. You know you, believe it or not, better than the doctor does when it comes to how you are feeling, right? How many days you lay in bed, how many times you have to go take a break because you can't do it anymore, right? So you know you better than the doctor. Now, there's two kind of options here, depending on your relationship with your doctor. If your doctor is, Johnny, sit by your side and have an hour-long conversation and it doesn't bother them, then you could sit there and have this thing filled out with them and you can answer questions and bring the notes with you from the schedule of ratings. Now, if your doctor's not that, then what I suggest is have the blank DBQ, have the schedule of ratings information circled on there, what you are, or just copy and paste that or handwrite that somewhere so you have that. Then read through the disability questionnaire and question number 3. Here's my answer of how I feel. Question number 4. This is how many days per month I am just laid up in bed. Question number 6, right? So that way they don't have to try to guess, right? You're the patient. You're giving them the information they need to incorporate into the DBQ. So that way you could give that to them all together. Hey, here's the DBQ. Here is my answers of if you were to ask me, because I'm the patient, right? If you were to ask me, this would be what I told you. And here is the specific criteria that I meet, and I would like to have that incorporated into it, as well as this is the date of my nexus, right? Whether it's a month, a year, a time frame that's corresponding within your time of service. Very important. So that is the very important pieces, I think, when it comes to utilizing the DBQ and understanding the nuances of the disability benefits questionnaire, and realizing that if you just guess or just give it to your doctor and have them complete it, you might not get what you're looking for out of it, right? It's a great, impactful tool if it's used appropriately. Now, here's the other piece. They said that the doctor will submit it for you. They can, or they can give it to you and you could submit it. I've done that before, and it did hit my records with the VA, and it did turn around and warrant me the rating I was looking for. So you can absolutely have your doctor give it to you, and then you could submit it to the VA. That way you still have a copy of it, which is always good. So with that concludes it. I hope that sheds a little light on the disability questionnaire, and that's it. All right. Hope you have a great one. Remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.